Good morning. Good morning. Here I am back at the desk, putting together some video I recorded. I guess last month. Yeah, it would have been in January. So if you remember from this clip, so I picked up Argo from where I bored him there in Cedarville. Picked him up, and we decided to head east. Hunt dog, head east. Well, the reason I boarded Argo is I was volunteering at a sled dog race, and this was the Tahquamenon country sled dog race north of Newberry, there by Muskellunge State Park. And I'm going to bring up a map here of the course, and you see these dots here. Hopefully there's arrows pointing at them. These were the remote checkpoints where we were located. And when I say we, they are people from the local radio, amateur radio community. We're setting up at these locations to give status updates and let race control, net control know when mushers would come through at our location and if there was anything amiss. So our station was pretty uneventful in that way. And I guess talking about my station, I was at this one here, the most remote station. But the first station, they had, I want to say 7 or 8 dog teams come in without a musher. So the musher fell off on one of the corners and the dogs just kept going. And of course you do your best to try to stop the dogs. There was one team that was stopped and the radio volunteer was standing on the sled to keep them, and then they just took off and he was on the sled. And I heard the guy on the radio say, I can't remember the gentleman's name now because it's been over a month, but I'm just going to call him Greg. And he's like, yeah, the dog team took off with Greg on the sled. I don't know where he is. So it was quite interesting to say the least in those first two spots. But fear not, eventually all the teams and mushers were reunited. Only one team had to, I guess, forfeit the race because their sled broke. Coming back to where we are up here, to get there though, again, we're the most remote spot, so it's either a really long snowshoe trip with all your gear, or you need a snowmobile, and I don't have a snowmobile, but the guy I worked that spot with does, and so we had quite the interesting setup with his snowmobile, with a sled behind that with his wife and daughter, or no, wife and son in the sled, and then behind that is another sled with all of our radio gear on it. I'm on the snowmobile right behind him, and then his daughter's in front of him. So it was quite the ordeal, quite the setup there to get out there. And I don't know the exact route we took, but I'm kind of guessing here on this route here. It should be drawing on the screen now of the route we took to get here. So I'm doing all this rambling here because I didn't record anything on the way in. I didn't record anything on the drive up there because it's a really early morning. And then we get there and got set up. I did record a few little clips, but then once the dog teams start coming, they tend to come pretty hot and heavy there for a while. And so I did record clips, but I didn't do much talking because, as you'll see from this clip,
straight ahead. That's it. Thank you.
good job.
Go, you're doing great. Go. You're doing great.
Net control crossing.
Go ahead, crossing.
Bib 9 at 1329. Bib 9 at 1329. KJ7 SYX.
Copy, net control. KF8 BQF.
That's what we're doing. So the bib number comes in, make note of the time. You got to write it down, and then radio it in to net control. And then who can also hear that is the start finish line. They can hear it on the radio. So the net control people are making note of these, when each team gets to which spot. And then the start finish people know. So they kind of get a gist of where these people are. And so we don't want to lose anyone, of course. Make sure everyone's accounted for in each of these sections. So that's one of the big drivers for us to be there, is to help keep everyone safe, make sure no one gets lost. And there is no cell phone service up there at all. So radio is the only way to get this done at any sort of efficacy at all. So if you can see from this map here I brought back up here, the sled dogs come one direction, they come past us, and they go and do this loop, and then they come back at us again and make a left-hand turn where we're at. And so we make note of when they arrive, coming in and out from our location. I'm going to put together all these clips are recorded, probably some music and stuff. I guess that's enough rambling. Here we go. Good job.
Way to go. Good job.
Good job.